with fourth child. And this is my wife pregnant with our first two children. And here's our first two children born. Well, a lot of you have been asking, well, how did you guys meet? My wife was actually born and raised in Botswana, and I was born and raised in the United States of America. But while I was living in the Phoenix area, she came to visit Phoenix and happened to walk into the church that I attended. And we hit it off right off the bat and had a great time. I think she visited for about 2 or 3 weeks, and we dated a few times and went out and did some church activities together and had a wonderful time. And I had made up my mind that this was going to be the woman that I was going to marry. Unfortunately, she had to return back to Canada. She had actually been going to school in Canada. And so we did the old long distance dating relationship where we used Skype and things like that. And then for her spring break, I flew her back down to America, and I proposed to her. We went to a Black Angus, and I proposed to her and gave her her favorite meal. She loves steak. Botswana is well known for its beef. And so she had a nice steak meal, and her favorite dessert was a cheesecake. I believe we had a New York cheesecake. And then she returned back to Canada to finish up her studies. And after we had continued to Skype for a while, she called me up very nervous, and she said she had some bad news. She had been talking to her parents, and they wanted to enforce her cultural marriage ceremony in our endeavor. And I asked what that entailed, and then she said she had a bride price. And I kind of laughed because I thought of the Bible, and my wife loves to read the Bible. I thought about the Bible, how that they had a bride price in a few instances. And I asked her what the bride price was, and she said it was 8 cows. And I kind of smiled to myself. At that time, I wasn't making a whole lot of money. I thought, well, this is going to be a long engagement period. And so after she finished her schooling, their tradition is that she goes back to her family and waits for me to come and pay the bride price. And so I saved up my money and I budgeted and I did everything that I could do to quicken the time frame. And then I flew back to Botswana and paid her family the bride price of 8 cows. And I got to meet her delightful family. We had a lot of fun together. I went back to Botswana, had a great time, and brought her back here. And we actually got married back in the United States, back in the Phoenix area. And the rest is history.